You know how Fortnite really likes to dive into Greek mythology when telling their storyline and creating their characters? Well, today I thought it would be fun if we took a look at the history of one of Fortnite's most beloved characters in Greek mythology, and that is none other than Midas, King Midas. We're going to tell the whole story about Midas in Greek mythology in case you haven't heard about it, because most people just know him as the dude with the golden touch. That's pretty much it, and then they brought that into Fortnite. So what I'm going to do today, guys, is I'm going to read you the entirety of King Midas' story, and then afterwards we're going to take a look at what we can take from that story. Hopefully it's something, because I am freestyling this video besides the script that I have for the King Midas' story. Hopefully we can take something from that and apply it to Fortnite and speculate something that could possibly come in the future, because we know Epic Games is going to bring Midas back to the map eventually. I'm going to read that for you in just a second. I do want to say, if you are new here, hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Again, if you're new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels. Let's talk about Midas. Let's tell the story. I'm going to remove my face cam and tell the story, and then I'll be back in just a second. King Midas was a king of Phrygia, known for his ability to turn anything he touched into gold. The myth of King Midas begins with him being granted a wish by Dionysus, the Greek god of wine and celebration. Midas wished that everything he touched would turn to gold. At first, he was thrilled with his new power and used it to turn his food, drink, and even his daughter into gold. But as time passed, he realized the terrible consequences of his wish and begged Dionysus to take it back. Dionysus agreed, but told Midas he must first wash his hands in the Pactolus River to remove the power. From that day forward, the sands of the Pactolus River was filled with gold, and it became a place of great wealth. The myth of King Midas serves as a cautionary tale for the dangers of greed and the importance of being careful what you wish for. Another story tells of King Midas going on a journey to the underworld. King Midas was allowed to ask one question of the dead, and he asked whether any mortal was happier than he was. The dead replied that King Midas was not as happy as a poor named Coresius, who had recently died. This realization made King Midas realize that he had been wrong to be so obsessed with wealth and power. There is also a story about King Midas and his golden touch that connects it to the golden touch of King Midas' father, Gordius. According to the story, King Gordius had been blessed with the golden touch by the god Zeus, but King Midas inherited the golden touch from his father. There are also stories that connect King Midas with the famous golden fleece of Greek mythology. According to some versions of the story, King Midas was the one who found the golden fleece and brought it back to Greece. Overall, King Midas is a complex figure in Greek mythology, associated with wealth, power, greed, and humility, as well as with the arts and hospitality. His story serves as a warning about the dangers of excess and the importance of being content with one's lot in life. Interesting story, is it? There's not a lot when I was taking a look at this that I could really pull and drive into Fortnite, because the biggest thing about Midas is, okay, he had power, he had a palace, but did we already touch on that? Is this something that we could take from Fortnite? Is it something new? I'm thinking back to the agency, and he had all the power and all this gold stuff, and he had the golden touch. We had that whole gimmick, and still does, where he turns all the wraps and everything that he touches in Fortnite into gold. However, the most interesting thing for me is when Midas, the story where he goes and talks to the dead, and it doesn't matter what comes from that, and it's like, am I happy? Is there somebody more happy than me? What I'm wondering about is the fact that he was speaking to the dead. Could we trace that somehow into Fortnite and trace it and connect it somehow with him to Oro? Because one of the biggest mysteries in Fortnite that hasn't been solved yet is Midas and Oro. Are they the same person? Is it a spirit inside Midas? We don't know. Seems like Epic Games abandoned that storyline that we had a little bit. It was tough to tell because we had that whole prison thing in Fortnite, right? It's easy to think that Epic Games abandoned this, but then Epic Games drops balls on us, and then it's just like, hey, you know what? They've been teasing the nothing since chapter 1. Maybe we are going to dive into more of Midas and the dead, then we could connect that to Oro somehow. It's important to note, though, that there is a story in Greek mythology where Midas has contact with the dead. Maybe Oro will come back to the story at some point. Maybe when Midas comes back from maybe like another Halloween season, maybe we can connect that to Shadow Midas somehow. Interesting idea. I still don't think there's any concrete things that we can connect together right now. It's just something that we could keep in touch. There's another thing in front of me. I just looked up what is the Golden Fleece, which I didn't know about because there was another story with Midas and the Golden Fleece, right? The Golden Fleece is a powerful magical item with many abilities. It can cure any living thing. It makes grass, flowers, and all the plants healthier. It can also heal mortals and demigods. Maybe that could be an item of some sorts in the future. Maybe, you know what? How cool would it be, by the way, if we got a Greek mythology season in Fortnite? I'm going off a little bit off topic like I do sometimes in these videos, guys, but still, I'm trying to think about, okay, Midas and the Golden Fleece is something that we haven't seen yet. We've seen the Golden Touch. Like I said, we've seen him have power, wealth. Did he also, another thing is, did he go through sadness? We have Jules, Midas' daughter, right? Maybe he's going to lose his daughter. Maybe Jules is going to get turned into gold at some point. Maybe they're going to tell more of the story with Midas. There's little tiny things in Midas' story that we could connect to Fortnite, and I understand that it's not a complete copy and paste, right? Midas from Greek mythology isn't exactly the same as Midas in Fortnite, but of course, Epic Games, they could always tie the story. We could have a crossover of the 0 Point. Maybe Midas got rifted from his reality back in Greek mythology. Who knows? It's very tough to tell. Last thing I do want to touch on, I'm going to tell you guys in just a second, and then I'll want to hear from you guys in the comments down below of anything that you think that we could tie into Midas. You know what I mean? So the whole point of Midas' story is it serves as a warning. Maybe not a warning for the same thing, but it's important. Like, we need to take a look at Donald Mustard. We take a look at every little detail that he likes to put in the story. This is something that I think we can't overlook. Midas' entire story serves as a warning for people. What if, I don't know, I know it's a stretch, okay? What if at some point, we had that whole storyline with him trying to take over the loop and trying to break the loop. He had a lot to do with the 0 Point and a lot to do with the loop. Maybe it's a warning where Midas was trying to get power and something bad is going to happen to the loop as the story continues. When Midas comes back, maybe he'll try to take over it again. Maybe he'll try to break it again. And then the big warning, it's like, hey, you know what? There was a warning the first time. Now that he's doing it again, something majorly bad is going to happen. Who knows? I understand it's a little bit of a stretch, but maybe that's the biggest takeaway we can have from Midas, because that's honestly the takeaway from his story in Greek mythology. The whole story serves as a warning for people. Maybe we could tie that in Epic Games and Fortnite somehow. This is where I'll leave it up to you guys, though. I want to know in the comments down below, is there anything out of Midas' story that you think we could have into Fortnite? When do you think Midas is going to come back? He's on the map somewhere. He was on the Chapter 3 map, hiding. We haven't seen it yet. There's nothing in a restaurant. There's nothing in the storyline about a restaurant from Midas in Chapter 3, so I can't really touch on that one. But again, I'd love to know what you guys think about this down below. Did you enjoy this video? Did you enjoy these types of videos? Because I'd love to upload a video about like Artemis and Apollo and talking about their stories, how we can connect it to the maps of Fortnite. I would like to do this, but if this is something that you guys are interested in, so please let me know. Give me some constructive criticism, guys. I would appreciate it down below. And again, I'd appreciate your comments. Please let me know what you think about this whole story and anything that you can connect it to Fortnite, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you are new here and enjoy the content, please consider hitting like button would help the channel a ton, and subscribe if you're brand new. Check the description down below for links to all my other channels, as well as link to Real Umber on Fiverr. Will take care of all of your YouTube thumbnail needs. He might have done this thumbnail. Not sure if he's doing this one, but regardless, go check it out. He can make your thumbnails for you. Lastly, if you'd like to use my support creator code in the item shop, it is code Clen #Academy #Epic Partner. And not lastly, one more thing. If you want to be a channel member at the end of the month, you could potentially win some V-Bucks. And if you want to play with us during live streams, you can skip the line and play with us. Thank you so much for watching again, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.